Hey guys, it's Jeremy here, Metal Music Meltdown, back with another video. We're for today, guys, is something a little bit different. As you can see from the thumbnail, we're just going to kind of talk all things thrash metal in 2025, kind of standard albums, and just what an incredible year it's been for thrash metal. In my opinion, we're only barely, not even halfway through the year yet, and I can already tell it's going to be the year of thrash. And I just wanted to kind of talk about some albums that came out this year so far, a couple that are still pending to come out that I'm really excited for. Normally midway through the year, especially the end of June, I do my top 10 albums of the year, kind of blending all genres. And I do plan to do that still at the end of June, along with my top 5 albums of June still. But I wanted to kind of give my current top albums of just thrash. I normally don't do a mid-year thrash list, but I wanted to kind of comprise something quickly and kind of give you my top picks so far for the year. I came up with 15. They're not really in any particular order, so they're not like set in stone as number 1, 2, whatever. But I do have them in order in sense of the ones at the top 5 are probably my more standout ones, and the ones at the bottom are the ones I don't listen to as much, and then the ones in the middle are kind of duking it out to either climb or go down the list for my year-end thrash metal list. So it's really difficult to rate even these 15 albums. The ones at the couple at the bottom were pretty easy, and like a handful at the top were quick. But in the middle, there's a lot of good albums this year for thrash, guys. Like when I kind of realized the other albums that came to my mind, I'm like, oh damn, is this one better than that one, or is it better than this one? And there's just so many top quality thrash albums from some bands I've been following for many years. All came out this year. And a lot of underground stuff, but a lot of, for me, that are bands that are still really big, even though they're underground. Just albums I was super excited for. But yeah, like I said, guys, it's just been a killer year for thrash. And kind of looking at these albums as well, comparing it to my year-end top 10 list. There's a handful of these at the top of the list that are contenders to make my top 10 list in general, like not just thrash, but list in general. But when I was looking at other albums that came out this year that aren't thrash, I have 5 albums right now that are not thrash metal that are 90% sure are going to be in my top 10 albums of the year. So I think thrash is going to make up the rest of the list, unless it's a couple albums that might kind of not, duke it out for with them. But yeah, there's 5 albums out right now that are not thrash that are looking like my top 5, to be honest with you. Like, they're really good albums that I can't stop listening to. So I think some of these thrash albums will be like from 6 to 10, or maybe 1 or 2 might creep up in the top 5. We'll see how the end of the year goes. But enough of my rambling, guys. I just want to kind of go over my 15 albums right now that I consider the best so far of the year. So starting at the bottom, like I say, these aren't really in any fixed order, but they're kind of in a range of my favorite to least favorite to some degree. Like I said, my least favorite one's kind of the bottom range, and then my albums I listen to the most kind of at the top 5 or 6. So number 15 at the bottom, I'm not going to really number them. I'm just going to kind of go through the bands. We had Centurus with The Regime. This just dropped in May. This kind of was at the bottom. Solid album. Local band to here in Toronto. Got to show my local band some love. I think these guys have a lot of potential. Really good album, good riffs, great melodic kind of vocal lines. I think these guys have the potential to write some really good albums, and I'm really excited to see what they come up with next. Next band that kind of stood out to me for the top 15 was Hierrax, Faster Than Death. This is kind of a crossover kind of band. They're pretty good. Not one of my favorite kind of thrashy crossover bands of all time. But I did dig this album. It was really solid. Not one of my favorite albums of the year, but enough to make the top 15. I dig the riffs and the songs in this album, but the vocals are just not all there for me. I don't love them, but they're okay. Another band that kind of stood out to me this year was Warfield with The Old Breed. Really good German thrash metal band, just some good meat and potatoes thrash, nothing too reinventing the wheel, but this is their sophomore album, I believe. I didn't really write notes, I just have the list here. But really solid album. I've been spinning it quite a bit, and I really enjoyed it. This was a new band for me this year as well. Next, we got Hidden Intent, another band I discovered just this year. They're out of Australia. Really good album. This is one I didn't know where to put it, if it should have been a little bit higher or lower. I couldn't really decide kind of where to put it in the list, but it's kind of closer to the bottom. But Terraform is the name of the album, and a really solid album out of Australia. Really memorable songs, really well written songs, and definitely a band I want to pick up all their stuff over time, and just some really good stuff. Next we got Game Over, Face the End, a nice, good underground band. I can't remember where they're from offhand. Italian band, sorry guys. Just wanted to find out. Italian band, really good stuff. I've been following these guys for a number of years, since their beginning really in like 2012, since their first album. I've dug all their albums. I was super excited for the new album to drop. Love the artwork on this one as well. One of the best artworks of the year for Thrash. And just a really solid album. Really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like an 8 out of 10, maybe 8.5. Really good album. Really enjoyed it. Next we got here was another new band for me, Misfire. It was called Product of the Environment. Like I said, these guys on my previous video I mentioned, these guys were touring with Exodus. And I wanted to check them out, and super glad I did. This is their sophomore album. Just a really good, aggressive, in-your-face thrash. I've never heard of these guys before that, and it just shows how being on a good bill with a good band like Exodus, and I didn't even go to the show, and it was enough just to make me want to check them out. And now I've got both of their albums on my kind of Amazon wish list, ready to buy when they're at a price I'm willing to pay, kind of thing. I don't want to pay like $25 for it, but yeah, definitely two albums I want to pick up for sure. Really solid stuff. Next we got Chemicide, another band, more underground. I've been following them pretty much since the beginning of their career. They've got, I think, 5 or 6 albums in total. They're out of Costa Rica, I believe. And another banger from these guys, nice and aggressive, really kind of dingy, dirty kind of thrash. I love their sound, and I was super pumped to hear another album from them. Another one I need to pick up on CD, but a really solid album. Next we got the band that came to my attention from my subscriber, Pete. There was, I think, 2 on my list. Yeah, the 2 on my list that I came across from him. Fatal Embrace with their album 7th Sadistic Serenade. God, this album rips. This is another one that's super underground. I haven't listened to it as much as some of the ones at the top because it's only been out for about a month. But every time I listen to it, I love it more and more. And I think as the year goes by, it's going to climb up the thrash list, to be honest. It's really good. I think Pete had this as his #1 album for April, if I'm not mistaken. And as soon as I checked it out, I loved it right away. It's got so many dimensions. It's got nice melodic kind of leads in it. It's got aggression. It's got the riffs. It's got the vocals. It's just a killer album. Really good stuff. Next we got the veteran German Thrashers Destruction with their album Birth of Malice. Some people might have this a lot higher on their list. I kind of put it kind of in the middle. It's a really good album. I kind of feel bad for putting it that low, but it's just another good Destruction album. You know what you're going to get from these guys when they put in an album. It's always great. It's always consistent. And just a really solid album. Smear's vocals sound amazing still. Great riffs, really good tunes, and still gets another airplay. Good stuff. Next we got a band, another more underground band called Exodus. Not Gary Holt Exodus. It's another band. It's spelled Exit and then Us. I'm not sure where they're based out of. I can't remember offhand. I think Czech Republic, if I'm not mistaken. But the album's called Killing Breed. Really killer artwork, and another band I was introduced to this year. I think either Pete, again, introduced me to these guys, or maybe Mark over at Metal Never Dies. I think had these guys, or did a review of the album. I wanted to check it out. Man, this album rips. It's so good. It's so heavy. Just my kind of thrash. It's just aggressive and in your face. Crunchy, pounding riffs, big drums, good production. Really, really good stuff. Next we got a band I just had on my top albums of May. The Executionist with Sacrament of the Sick. 2 young brothers, 21 and 19, I think they are, out of West Virginia. Really good album. This is their debut album. and it rips, guys. I can't stop listening to it since I've heard it the first time. And this is an underground band that has a lot of promise, and I think they're going to do really well next couple albums. I think they could get a lot of recognition, get signed to a label. Watch for these guys, definitely a band to watch. I love this album. It made technically on this list, it's in the top 5. So good work, guys. You did your job in terms of sticking in my head and making me want to listen to it over and over. We're up to the top part here now. I got Phantom with Tyrants of Wrath. I wasn't sure to put this in the thrash list. I consider it more of a blackened kind of speed metal, but I think on Metallum they're considered like a thrash speed metal band. But this album is killer. Again, my introduction to the band. Love this album a lot. I might even put it higher, but the 3 above it are just so good. It's hard to put these in any kind of order at this point. But yeah, definitely standard album for me. Definitely a year-end contender. The first time I heard it, I'm like, yeah, this is an album that might make my year-end list for sure. I keep listening to it over and over. Just some really good, like I said, blackened kind of thrashy speed metal. So if you like bands like, like Hellripper or Midnight, things like that, you'll dig this band. Really good stuff. Next we got Canadian veterans, Sacrifice with Volume 6. These guys haven't missed a beat. It's been a while since they put it in an album, but they came back with a vengeance and put it a killer album with Volume 6. And the Canadian boys did us proud. Really aggressive and dirty thrash. Love this album. Easily a top 10 thrash album of the year. Top 5 for sure. This will be my top 5 at the end of the year for sure. Really killer stuff. And next we got one of my newer thrash bands, Warbringer. I was super pumped when they had a new album coming out this year, Wrath of Ruins. This album rips again. Just riffs everywhere. The vocals are aggressive. The songs are really well written. Their songwriting is getting better and better with every album. I think this might be my favorite album in their catalog so far. Was easily a top 3 thrash album of the year. And I guarantee it will be my top 3 thrash albums of the year for sure. And I wouldn't be surprised with a good chance it makes my year-end list top 10 of the year as well. And the last one here to mention, I have it at number 1, but like I said, these aren't really in any kind of definite order. I just kind of ranked them loosely. I have Hazard, another Canadian band with Third Dimension. I can't stop listening to this album. This came out back in January, and I've been spinning it the whole year. I finally got a physical copy of it last time I placed an Amazon order. And it's a killer album. These guys never disappoint. I think it's their 3rd album. And it just kills. Everything about it I love. It's my kind of thrash. Kind of reminds me of Havoc a lot. Really good vocals. They incorporate a lot of melody into their thrash as well, but still maintain the chuggy riffs and the intensity. Love this album. It's easily a contender for thrash album of the year. And then before I let you guys go, as I know it's been a little bit longer video, just a couple albums coming up that are really strong contenders, not only for my thrash list, but also for the year end. One was the more underground band called Electrocutioner. They're a band I discovered because they got signed to CDN Records recently. So I checked out their debut that came out a couple years ago. I loved it. Really good stuff. And they have a new album coming out in September 5th, I think it is. Warbringer, it's called. And I couldn't put up a picture of it because they don't have any confirmed artwork. I don't think I couldn't find anything. But just a really good band out of Rhode Island, New York. And definitely watch out for this band when it comes out, guys. I'll definitely be reviewing it. And yeah, I'm super excited for that one. And the biggest one still to come out is Sodom. Sodom's album drops at the end of June. I think the 22nd or 26th or something. And it's called The Arsonist, I think. Album artwork kills. And if it's anything like the last Sodom album, it might take the number 1 thrash album of the year, guys. The last album was, I think, my number 2 of the year for the whole year. It just was amazing. Like, incredible thrash album. So it's got big shoes to fill. I got high hopes for the Sodom album. Really high expectations. And I have a feeling it's going to give a punch into my list and it will definitely be in there. So thanks for watching, guys. Let me know down below if there's any thrash bands I might have overlooked. There's a couple I've reviewed that didn't make my list of the 15. ones I didn't like as much. But let me know down below those some other thrash bands I might have overlooked, or something I need to check out before I get, end of the year kind of stuff. And thanks for watching, guys. Keep it metal.